Just a word on, you mentioned some of the big signings earlier. A huge one was Florian Wirtz, of course. Why do you think he hasn't clicked yet? Because it feels like the narrative around him is it's going to work out, it's going to happen at some point. Obviously, they're 9 games in and this is the situation. Is it a case of he's not in form at the moment? He obviously hasn't hit the ground running, but maybe players around him aren't in that form either? Yeah,
and I think, and also not just the price tag and stuff like that comes with it, but it's his position. He's a number 10. Now, if you want your number 10s to be firing on all cylinders, you need the majority of the people, particularly behind him, your midfielders, your defenders and all that, to be fluent in their possession, moving the ball well, getting you the ball in the right areas, getting you the ball maybe when you're demanding it. He's obviously playing in a different league as well, adapting to a different country in a different league whilst trying to impress in a team that is underperforming. So even at the beginning of the season when Liverpool were winning games and people were questioning, and I was one of them, by the way, going, I haven't really seen much of Wirtz. But in the same time, you're going, who is actually playing well for Liverpool at the minute? So we can all stand here and go, yeah, the price tag that are on players like him and Isak. But for someone who's coming to a new league, who's young, in a position where, like I said, I think the rest of the team needs to be sort of firing on all cylinders, and they're certainly not helping him with the way that they're playing.
No. It feels like you look at it from sometimes with that coaching hat on as well, like you're saying, him integrating, and the fact it's a whole new league, new country, living in as well as playing in.
Yeah, and I've seen players that have come over particularly from the German league. I saw it with Kai Havertz struggling to settle at Chelsea. Timo Werner as well. It was difficult, not just because it was COVID times, but the amount of things that these young players have to deal with. You've mentioned the price tag and the fact that he is such a gifted footballer. We can all see that. There's no doubt in his ability, but they are moving country. We don't know. Has he got family that's come over with him? Like,
we don't know all the
there's so much that could be going on behind the scenes. So no one's judging him at the moment as far as is he a top player, but at the moment, yeah, he hasn't performed to the level that he would like to, but nor as many of the Liverpool players.
Well, one of those is probably Mo Salah, who it just seems like he's certainly not at the levels he has been the last few seasons for Liverpool.
No, and I think with Mo Salah as well, he's set his standards just so high.
And they're incredibly high, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's always going to be difficult to replicate that, especially in a struggling side and when players around you aren't performing as well. So I think we got a reminder of his quality at the weekend against Brentford with his goal towards the end.
It was a great goal, wasn't it? Even though it was a bit of a consolation.
Yeah, but I think he's a player, along with Wirtz as well. I think you obviously know their quality. You can see it with Wirtz. You can see little glimpses of his quality, and I've got no doubt about that. It will click and they will come good, and once they do, then I think a lot of the Premier League teams will be in trouble, because it's a frightening thought that they could have all that front line and their attacking players in form.
Yeah. One of the big sort of topics of conversation has been the irony, maybe, that Trent was seen as someone who had these vulnerabilities, and the fact that now he's gone, do they look even more vulnerable in those sort of fullback positions?
Well, I certainly think if Trent was performing how Kirkes is performing at left back, we'd be hearing a lot more about it. The fact that he's obviously such a talented footballer, Trent, and he's English, obviously maybe we'll go on a little bit more about that. But like I said, you can say the same thing about the 2 centre-halves. There's no doubt in that them 2 centre-halves have played at a ridiculous level previously, and they're nowhere near it at the minute. You're talking about Virgil, who some people call the best Premier League centre-half of all time. He's not at it this season. Now, it's all fair. No one can play great all the time, but it does seem like there's quite a few players that are underperforming at the same time, which leads to these sort of runs, unfortunately.